The homeless crisis is growing in this country. An average of 17,000 people became homeless each week in 2022, and last year's numbers are expected to be even higher. So what are the factors fueling it?
First and biggest one is the affordable housing crisis. Rents have skyrocketed across the country, and there aren't enough units that are affordable for people and available for people who need them. So the combination of those two things means that people are paying more and more of their income towards rent, and that makes them vulnerable and at risk of homelessness. The second is that we're seeing more people become homeless for the first time, and we're seeing new populations become homeless as well, like seniors. And that means our social safety net isn't keeping up with the needs. The third thing that we've been tracking over the last couple of years is the end of the pandemic era protections, like the eviction moratorium and rental assistance. Those things ended just as rents began to skyrocket across the nation, creating sort of this perfect storm.
And it's happening all across the country.
We see an increasing number of people across the nation in every kind of community, whether it's rural, whether it's an urban community or a suburban community. So that's the first thing. The other thing is we're seeing an increase in the unsheltered population. So more people in tents, more people in outdoor locations than we've ever seen.
As a result, making homelessness a crime is on the rise, a proven failed strategy.
Ticketing, fining, or arresting people who don't actually have money for their basic needs doesn't end their homelessness, and in fact burdens law enforcement with activities that really are social service related activities. And when somebody has an arrest on their record, it makes it harder for them to get a job and to get into an apartment, to sign a lease. These kinds of practices also move people out of social service, catchment areas. And that makes it harder for social service providers to find the people that they're working with. So all around, it is counterproductive to use criminalization and law enforcement as the primary tool to end homelessness when we know that affordable housing and services is the combination of things that can work.
We also need to debunk misconceptions about the homeless.
There's a big misconception about who's homeless, how to solve it, and also there's a misconception about how people become homeless. Sure, we have people with substance abuse and mental health issues. They make up a portion of the population, but so do people with domestic violence issues, people who are going through divorce, people who don't have work every day at the best job that they can find, but still can't afford housing.
I think we all agree that when everybody in a community has a safe and stable place to live, that community is stronger for it. I think it's really important to note that some of these efforts around criminalization within some states are actually being pushed by out-of-state lobbyists who have their own agenda and that don't actually know much about homelessness within the state that they're working in. So we want to make sure that elected leaders are listening to people in their communities who serve people experiencing homelessness and who have maybe experienced homelessness themselves so that they can understand what's happening on the ground.
And you can help those efforts at endhomelessness.org/criminalization.